Hello, welcome back. Thank you for joining us for our game night. We're in the new place, new studio. Hope you like it. We do. Still moving on, working on things in a better direction. Uh, we're back with Phil, Andrew, Logan, and Jeremy. We're going to be picking up where we left off last time with an inquisition that went sideways in the base of Blue Industries. Now we're going to visit our two favorite Chaos crew. You guys, Logan, Andrew, we're just in the break room of Blue Industries and decided that mischief was the path. What would you like to do?
Well, at this point, Ponzi is going to be kind of recovering from a bit of a headache that was given to him by a previous character. Uh, by just unsheathing the sword and getting knocked out. He's got a pretty big headache, so he's going to head over to the break room, grab some coffee, see if that doesn't help.
More coffee.
That was a close one, Ponzi. Yeah.
That just happens when we end up separated. We'll just
Yeah.
have to T-pose him next time.
Yeah, they always try to take us apart, but they can never take me and you apart.
They're never going to take us down.
Yeah.
Excuse me. As a door opens to this break room, and you see a guy, sweater vest, real orangey, reddish hair, looks probably human. Walks in. Excuse me. Is there any coffee left? I'm very phlegmy today. Need something to heat this up, and I don't like tea.
We're going to have to take a look. Do I do an investigation check? See what we find.
Sure, yeah,
All
absolutely.
right, let's
All
take
right.
a look.
Do I do it too? Or?
Yeah,
If you'd like to assist,
Sure. Yeah.
19.
19.
18.
You guys were already kind of looking for the coffee. The coffee pot itself looks like it is. It is not full, but there's all of the things that you would expect in like almost like a modern day little office nook for this kind of thing. This is like literally a coffee break room that's almost like equivalent to like modern day stuff.
I'll grab 3 cups and split what's in the pot evenly. Start another one, hand one to our guy, and be like, "Well, let's find out what you can do for us."
A hearty thank you for this.
And hand him the cup of coffee.
Take this swig.
So, what do you do around here?
I'm in charge of polymers.
Polymers. What is a polymer?
That might take a little longer to explain. Basically, I make things that are stretchy or that should be liquid that kind of are act solid.
If you happen to have something you can show me on that one.
Ooh, not here, but back at the lab. But oh wait, that's restricted. So
Well, we're newest members of the Blue Industries here, and would appreciate you if you wanted to give us a tour where it's restricted
you
and
see
what's
him
not.
look. You see him look down at your chest, and you just look on the same spot where he's looking on you on him. And there is something clipped to him with like a name badge. He's looking. He doesn't see him on you guys.
We just recently came in with Mr. 12 after having helped recover a particularly sensitive item for him. And if you could point us.
Yeah.
You guys got brought in by 12?
Yep.
Thanks for the coffee. I really appreciate you guys. I'll be back later. And he quickly leaves the room.
What's the matter, sir?
He just goes.
He's gone.
He looks. He like he got real nervous real quick.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a free insight check.
You see, Dak, and that's what happens when they recognize greatness in us.
we struck fear into the enemy.
That's true. Then I expect we're going to be seeing a lot of that around here.
Jesus.
At which point he's going to wander out, and he was implanted with a little bit of an idea from 12 last time, and he's going to find just a regular security guard or someone that's in the area, and he's going to ask about where the equipment room is.
Okay. Yeah, it takes a little bit. Roll me an investigation check, both of you, to see how long it takes for you to run into this guy. It's not a question of do you, it's a how long.
11.
11.
Both 11.
Okay. Well, while you guys are walking past very few people actually in the halls, I'm going to cut over to Dr. Gricken. You just finished at the Clicker Widget Lab, and you're making your way down the halls to your office. How do you like to proceed?
Uh, One thing I'd really like to do, since I almost didn't make it out of my own home, um, but by a stroke of luck, I would like to get with 12 or the Armory or whoever I can to see if I can get some sort of body armor, because that was a little too close for me.
Are you countering the going to your office first, or are you going?
I'm gonna go to my office first. I like to check in to my office, make sure everything's good. I do have a lot of sensitive stuff in there, and just make sure that's that.
You step in, close the door, uh, turn the light on, and sitting in your desk is you.
Oh, interesting.
And you lean forward,
Hmm.
and in a voice that's not yours, you hear, "We need to talk."
Uh, would I sense something about this person that would be familiar?
Roll me. This would definitely be whatever. A wisdom check? Give me a wisdom check on this to see if you can pick up on this.
12.
12. It's actually not a very high DC when you're this close to another of your kind.
Mm-hmm.
This is definitely a changeling across from you. You feel like that there's a kinship thing that happens when you're near another shapeshifter, where almost like the Highlander quickening, you feel like this, and like in your stomach, you know this person is a shapeshifter.
Okay.
Specifically, you're pretty sure it's not. Um, it's not one of the more monstrous ones. This is probably a changeling.
Okay. Uh, what do we need to talk about?
There's something about to happen in Dragon's Mouth that is going against the architecture in place. Something's coming for Blue Industries. And at the moment, Blue Industries needs to remain on the table longer.
How much time do we have?
Tomorrow.
I'll close my door, and I imagine I would have a security system in that room as well of some sort.
He steps from around your desk
Mhm.
to allow you to come around, like almost like a dance.
Yep. Yep.
And as they do, they step behind like a standing lamp that you have, and as they step behind it, it's almost like that changeover that happens. And you see standing there is a very attractive, dark-haired, long, like pulled back. Some of the accoutrements you can see are like arcane implements on them. And she says, "I don't get to take this form very much anymore. Roll a history check.
Okay.
To see if you recognize this visage."
9.
9. I thought you have advantage on history checks.
Not history.
No? Okay.
No.
Okay.
Deception insight.
You do recognize a symbol on them, but not them specifically. You recognize the old school tower symbol
Okay.
that used to be arcanely branded on their hands. But you recognize this is like old school tower, like on like their shoulder pauldron, like cloak area, like it's like the pin that holds it on.
Okay. And I would definitely. How long ago would I have known this person?
When you see that, and it kind of like clicks in your head that this person's like an older, like character, older player on the board, essentially.
Sure. Yeah.
This goes back maybe 100 years.
Okay.
Maybe. Which also could be why you don't recall them as well.
Maybe.
A lot of that's gotten hazier.
Since, yeah. Okay. I'm gonna secure the room and offer them a seat across from me, because moments.
Yeah, they sit down, smooth out like because it's almost like a vest robe that they're wearing with like leather armor and stuff underneath. When they do, they cross their legs, and across like the left leg, the thigh of it, you can see like two distinct sheaths with their dagger.
Okay, I'm not really concerned
Daggers.
about it. Knowing that changelings are pretty sneaky, they could have taken me out many times if they got this far. Or at least attacked. So I'm gonna sit down. My guard is gonna be pretty let down at the moment, and I'm just gonna
Even in this form, though, you can see like clipped to her, like almost like the Anakin style, how it's got like the two, like that kind of thing. Clipped to it is your ID badge.
Yeah.
But your ID badge is on you as well.
Right.
So
Yeah. It's odd. I'm gonna ask, what's the next step, and what do you know that we need to avoid?
in this facility, it has come to our attention is a chronostasis chamber that is holding something in a time distortion bubble. If that is not let go, it will cause significant problems.
Would I know what she's talking about with my highest clearance that I have, or is this well
You
beyond
don't
me?
know anything about this, but you do know that Mr. Blue has an entire section of this space, an entire wing
Yeah.
that is his access only. And there are individuals that work behind those doors, but you never see them leave those doors. Once they go in, they stay there.
All right. I'm going to say to her, I've never heard of anything or felt anything like that, and something with that power would have popped up on my radar, even with the equipment that we use, as sensitive as it is, would have detected something like that. How do you have this information?
They slowly, they hold up their hand, and they reach into the folds of those robes, because it's sleeveless. You know, you can show it's quick and nimble movement to go with the armor. They pull out what looks to be like an old book. This isn't yours. They slide it across, and they have like a piece of like a lace that runs down through the center of it, and they open it up to pages, and written in a very. Do you speak Elvish, or have Elvish as a language?
Oh shit! I'm not gonna listen to my feet.
Oh shit!
Nope.
No.
Something
Written in the very stylized, like cursive writing that the elves use, is a whole series of things. And seeing that you don't see that, she's like, off of her face, she removes an eye patch that didn't look like it was there and hands it to you.
Okay, he's gonna take it.
Puts it up, and above the page, in a language that you understand of your choice, appears what's said here. And it said, her skipping through time from the future to our past caused many issues. However, one of the things that was noticed was there was a stint where she was locked in place, according to this, at this location and in this time, for longer than the other skips correlated for. This was a disturbance in her path, which actually caused significant damage to the timeline. We're going to need to correct this and release her, or the past may not unravel into our future.
Does she know that she needs to correct this if we release her?
Doesn't say in the book. They close it really quick, but while you still have that up, it says the Chrono Chronicle of Vel, the Emerald Guardian.
Okay.
She takes back the eye
Yeah.
patch. And she puts it over her face, and for a moment you see the eye patch, and then like her face shifts to make it look like it's part of her face.
Okay.
Fucking works, but cool.
What can you offer us that can help me correct this? because the path can't be altered. She won't allow it.
We need to release whoever's being held. They're a temporal anomaly, and once that happens, it may or may not take care of itself. The way they skipped through time before was involuntary. So we're hoping just letting the cat out of the bag will do the job.
Okay.
You don't recognize me, but do you remember someone named Winter? Roll a history check. With advantage because of the Q.
17.
You remember a ranger that was like a liaison between old school tower back in the day and the Roventiri, the rangers of this world, and that they established the alliance that made it to where that this weird heroes guild became like accepted by like a good quarter to a third of like essentially the law enforcement of this world, um, and was like one of the first steps to making Tower itself like a legitimate thing.
Okay.
Um, but with that check, you also remember hearing something about a character or per side character, right? An individual named Winter or code name Winter
Okay.
that was there at the battle that put down the Shadow King,
Okay.
but you don't know their fate or like what happened during that fight. But you know that there was a person for information you were able to glean from that chaotic mess that happened pre-shattering. That this person kind of was like the battle coordinator of the fight against the horde.
That's pretty. That's big. That's big. But this wouldn't be that person. This is just.
She's not that person yet. Okay. She has to go back and become that person.
Okay. Before I unlock the door and unsecure the room, I want to ask her what she knows about me.
There's a smile that slowly creeps across the face for a second before the face returns to normal. Roll an insight check on that one.
I have advantage also, so is it a dirty 20? First one.
Okay, so a dirty 20 beats the 19 that I have on my check. That you're trained to pick up on facial cues, mannerisms, the shifts. For a brief moment, they kind of take almost like a defensive stance in like their posture, but then quickly let that go. And doing the thing where you maintain eye contact to draw the attention away from you do the same thing to other people to try and attention here, so that you don't see what I'm doing here. They also their left hand flinched for just half a little moment, like a blink of an eye towards their weapons. As he goes, I know enough. I also know I can count on you to do what needs to be done.
You can. How do I know that is safe with you? Whatever you know about me.
If you remembered me the way I remember you, I wouldn't have to answer that question. And she's going to reach slowly into a pouch on her side. And her hand goes like halfway into this tiny little belt pouch, but it goes up to the elbow, and she pulls out a little, looks like almost like a jade statue looking thing. It's only it's real little. It's like a little inch and a half tall by like an inch wide. But it's of a little elephant. It's a little jade elephant, and she just gently hands it over to you. It's a sending stone.
Oh, okay. He's gonna immediately put it away, and he's gonna I would say he's like a Faraday wallet, but he's gonna put it in his pocket, but he's gonna make sure it's in like the deepest, safest pocket that he has because he knows that people are always watching and people can sense things around here, and we also have equipment now that can sense magic. So
That is very old sending stone. One of the first ones made in this world, and it was made by Vendel. Used to be the Archvegas. He's had assistance of some of the draconic forces to make that thing. Um, if you look for it with magic, you will not find it. I don't know how well it will hold up against a what do you call it? Science,
science, yeah,
science based.
right.
But if you can't observe a quality, I don't know. That's. I wish I had studied more.
That's all right. I'll make sure it's safe. I need to make sure that you leave this office without being known that you're here. Which means I can't have you walking around in a me suit. Have we thought of this?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Uh, I have to check on a few things with this new information. I need to start gathering some information, and I need to talk to some people.
Um, you see them reach out and pull out a. It looks like it's got half of the mask looks like a smiley face, the other side looks like a frowny face. It's very much like the playwright mask that they put it on, and you see it like as they adjust their form, it creates around them a replica of 12's armor.
Okay.
And in 12's voice, you hear, "I don't think leaving will be a problem."
Yeah. And I would know where 12 is essentially anyway, so. Okay. I'm going to unsecure the room, open the door, and.
As you go to open the door, she puts her hand. 12 puts their hand on the back of it and goes, "I wouldn't have come to you if I could have done this myself. But I wasn't able to get into Mr. Blue's like his section of this base."
I believe you. Uh, we don't generally reveal our form to people, and just the fact that you did that, I know that there's more to us than I'm remembering right now. Please know that it's not an insult to you. A lot has happened, and a lot has been reset over the past few hundred years.
12 in 12's voice, they say, "I would shake your hand, but you know what happens.
Yeah.
And if you need to, when you call, my name is Xanth."
What was the name?
Xanth.
Xanth. And I'll continue to open the door, and I'll allow 12 to exit just as I normally would with 12. And I'll follow out behind, turn the light off, close the door, and continue on to.
You guys kind of do the thing where like they go, and it's weird because they're actually going in the direction 12 normally walks away from your office.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it all seems like it jives with everything. Like this is somebody who knows things.
Yeah.
And it's you always felt this place was secure, but now you're having this moment of like, just how secure is this place?
Yeah. Well, this was the closest to danger I had been in a very, very long time. The previous fight, so I'm definitely taking things really seriously.
Meanwhile, the door opens, and you see what you recognize as like an older version of Clementine.
What the fuck?
No, that's not my name. They come in, they slap their hand on the control on the inside, and it shuts behind them.
What is your name, then?
I am Dr. Clickerwidget, but you can call me Lily, because I understand you're a friend of my daughter's.
And you know as how?
I keep tabs on her. I really wish she hadn't come to Dragon's Mouth. It complicates things.
Yeah, it's not concerning at all.
We can talk freely now. I've got a thing going on that prevents them from listening.
Okay. I think I understand what she's looking for now. Or who.
Um, I went through a lot of trouble to keep her away from Grix. I understand she also got tangled up with Project Nightingale recently. Thankfully, you as well were expedited from their hands. That she had been there for very much longer, I don't know how much damage she could have done to the status quo.
Yeah.
She,
Yeah, I noticed that. And expedited is not really the word I would use for it, but sure.
um, tried to orchestrate things faster, but she couldn't. Not while I'm here.
Huh. So you had a similar plan to them, get us out. Or at least her.
Didn't plan on the dam getting destroyed. That was a curveball.
Yeah, I heard it sounded like a red dragon. Biggest one I've ever. I can't say seen. Never seen one. But sounded big.
Yeah. Well, glad that you're okay. I'm glad that she's okay, and the other kids that were rescued. That group, a little messy, but they got the job done.
I guess.
If I ever get a chance, I would like to thank Vincent for what he did.
Well, I don't know any other names, so I couldn't point them out to you, even if I tried.
That's fair.
I kind of ran off the second I had a chance, so don't really want to be here dealing with all of this shit anymore. But
Um,
what do you know?
I need to ask you why they took you. Why did why did Grix's Project Nightingale take you? What was your gift? Or should I
Hmm.
say is? Do you still have it?
You can't hear us, right?
No. It's just us. She you see her like tap because she's wearing like a lab coat kind of thing going on, but it's not like a full blown lab coat. It's almost like a bomber jacket equivalent.
Okay.
Like
It's neat. Okay.
yeah, and then she taps her like the place where you'd expect the pen protector to be, and sure enough, there's one there, but it's also got like wrenches and like these little like screwdrivers with like three heads that pop out, little things like all sticking right up there.
Okay. Hmm. Nice. Um. All right. Fuck it, I guess. I'm going to crouch down and like dip my finger into my shadow as if it's like a pen going into, those little ink wells. And I'm going to draw a symbol on the floor, and out comes this massive wolf. I'm actually gonna take the 2 HP off.
Ah, that's
That
never
was
seen that kind of thing before in my life. That's amazing.
that was unintentional. Normally a bird comes out. Cool. I guess I drew something different, but for some reason I felt like it was the right one.
She goes over to like reach a hand out to the wolf. Is it safe?
No fucking clue.
She was okay. She reaches into like her utility belt that she's got, and she puts on like looks like a full plate gauntlet.
Okay.
He goes to pet the wolf. How does the wolf react to this?
Very How to Train Your Dragons. He's growling at first, teeth shown, like almost putting himself between me and her. And as it sees that she doesn't mean any harm, that she's just reaching for it, he's gonna calm down.
Yeah, you hear the clank clank of the glove, and then she reaches out, take the glove off, and touches it with her hand. She's like, "It's not all here, is it?"
I pretty sure it's literally just my shadow. I mean, if you look down, there's nothing there.
That's something he would go after.
I heard there was one that had it.
So I've seen a few of these. The prototype for this project is scary.
Yeah, I don't really like the thought of that.
I can't let you go because they'll know I let you go. But I can make sure when the time comes, you are let go. I just need you to trust me.
Hmm. Let me weigh my options real quick. Stay here, probably get tortured and die, or trust my friends. Well,
Well, I looked at what they've got on your file, and they don't have torture listed. They have sample collection.
it was pretty much the same thing. So, seeing as those are my only two options, I might have to trust you here.
Um, can I can I see that earring?
Sure.
She takes it um, out of her that weird like multi-headed screwdriver. It actually looks like it's part of like a Swiss Army knife looking thing.
Okay.
She pulls that out, like fans out some stuff with one hand, and like starts adjusting some stuff on it. Pops it in her mouth, holds onto it, reaches into her pocket, pulls out like a little flat like disc. It's a little bit bigger than like a 50-cent piece. She sets it next to it, starts going back in her hand, like, back and forth. Takes a couple minutes. Then afterwards, she pulls that away, folds it up back up, puts it back in her thing, and she hands you your original one back. And there's like a that in that disc is a cutout of the same shape
Okay.
of the cat symbol on that thing. And she goes, "Can you hear me?" And in your ear, from your earring, you hear, "Can you hear me?" Good. She said, "Good, good, good, good." So if you need to, the range is the same for that. It's only like the spell, but
Yeah.
it, if you need to, I can hear it. I might not be able to answer, but my lab's not too far from here. Just it's down a floor.
Just during this, Cassius is looking for Lily. It's the first person he's gonna find.
What do you know about that doctor that they brought me in with?
He is very good at his job, and he shares a quality that Grix has, and he always seems to have the ability to help us get over a hurdle in our research by helping us acquire the missing piece. Grix is exceptional at providing us with the pieces we need mechanically or arcanely, but he's really good at helping us with the interface that we have troubles with.
Hmm. All right then.
But I've always kind of thought that he's. You ever? She like looks over at the wolf. Been near a real one of these?
No.
Wow. When they look at you, you can see an intelligence in their eyes, but you can also tell there's a cunning there that doesn't always come out in their actions.
Hmm. You know, look over at the wolf.
Hmm. And you do, and like the wolf's eyes are like glowy purple.
Yeah.
In the shadow. And they do that trails the light as that moves or whatever, but as they look into your eyes that you get like clarity. And you see what she's talking about, this unsettling nature of their look is you're not sure if this look has kindness behind it or intent.
Hmm. Okay. I think I get you now.
But she like looks you over. Are you hurt?
Not really.
No. Okay. So, um, I'll be back as soon as I can. If you need, you have your earring. I have the coin.
You are aware it channels to everyone, right?
Mhm.
Okay. As long as you know that.
You can hear me. They
Just
can't. They can't hear. It's linked to that specific one.
good. The doctor has one too. So
Okay. She goes, puts her palm on this plate on the side of the door, and it lifts up and into the wall, lets her out. She turns back over her shoulder and she goes, I don't know if I can get you out of here before the samples come, but I'll do what I can.
I think I've got a little bit of assistance if they try. So
Good.
and instead of like completely dismissing the wolf, I'm gonna have it like melt down into the shadow, and instead of like the shape of my own normal shadow, it's in the shape of a dog.
Yeah, it shifts to almost be like a regular wolf. The other form was almost like a flared out, like the shadow around it was almost like a very like a rapidly done painting where
Yeah.
it's like the paint splatters were swirling around it to create like almost like a dire wolf sized creature.
Yeah.
And as you will it back down, it's back to being just almost it's a cleanly done black, almost like an ink portrait of a dog.
Inside, just draw.
Yeah.
Just impressive.
I used to be able to do more. I used to be able to clone myself. I don't know how it turned into animals, but here we are.
Well, here's hoping you find that ability again, or reclaim it.
Maybe.
Oh, she reaches into her like lab coat and she like you hear like a clicking noise. Uh, thank you for your time, but I will no longer need any more samples from you. And she puts her palm on the door and it shuts. As that happens, in your head you hear, "Don't, don't trust her."
Hello?
We haven't had a chance to talk.
And you are?
You accepted my gift. I have granted you power.
Huh. That thing that went into my hand. Oh.
You have a shard of my essence.
I don't think that clarifies shit, but thanks, I guess.
Your gift. Your family's gift. Makes you able to survive hosting my power.
I'm human, bro. I don't know what you're talking about.
Only human, yes. Only.
I guess if you're talking about that side, sure.
There's no response.
Did you leave already?
Meanwhile, the dynamic duo, have harangued a poor security officer. He's like, but I don't know if you even have clearance for this. He's like holding his helmet underneath this thing. He's like, but I
Nah,
understand
trust
that
me,
you're
bro.
telling me. I just need to contact 12 to, or at least my director to make sure that it's.
Well, I appear that if you're going to delay us any further, we may have to talk to 12 about the delays, because I was asked to retrieve an important item, and unfortunately, I don't have the strength to lift it.
We're good friends with 12. Very good friends.
He's 12 has friends.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Roll me a deception check, both of you.
That might be a high one.
Just a
There.
8 on me for a deception.
Okay.
15.
Nice. Yeah, you're like, doing this route, and the friends thing. Anyway, what? What else do you say?
Well, friends is a manner of speaking, because we've met with him several times, and he hasn't imploded our heads.
And I count that as friend.
Guard actually laughs. What are you? All right, stop. What do you guys actually want? You're walking around in the base without identification, so he has to know you're here.
Correct. Which is why he sent me to retrieve a particular item, and I'm looking for some gear to help me lift that. As you can see, as a gnome, and he kind of does a little bit of flex, but it kind of looks like Pillsbury Doughboy.
So you need a lifter.
Yeah, manner of speaking.
Oh, you don't. Yeah, we don't go to the armory for that. The forge frames are this way.
Oh no, not that. One of the things that would help me lift an item. Not
Yeah, that's this thing.
Oh, excellent. Let's go take a look.
Okay.
And you should know, it takes a week to get a name tag, okay? I know this, all right? Name badge takes 1 week to mail to Mr. Blue Industries.
And that's if they get the photo right.
Blue Industries.
He's like, did you say that? He looks down at his and kind of like grimaces, like, yeah, I know. Anyway, this way. Yeah, it's like if you guys weren't allowed to be here, the alarms would be going off. So you're like, alarms? And you guys are going back and forth with him, and he's just like more and more just stumbling through this conversation, just at this point trying to rid himself of these two little terrors. But he opens what looks to be like a vehicle bay. He goes, "Come with me," and you can see there's like what looks like skiffs that are like hovering off the ground that look like it could hold like 6 people and have like these are almost like a hover car in the way that they're built. They're open up at the top, very much like something you see in the Star Wars. And then continuing on, there's multiple like vehicles. There's like sleds in the front and treads in the back. These ones look like they're more for like the Arctic terrain that's around here, and what looks like some sort of like multi-bladed thing that's strapped to something that's mostly a seat and engines, but there's like caution tape over it, so something happened involving this. You're not sure, and then there's much larger vehicles like kind of in the darkness that are like just beyond this like first row. But he's taking you over to an area. He pulls out his thing, he swipes through a little badge reader and opens a like almost like a security locked how do you put it? Not it's not chicken wire, but the stuff that's thicker than that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Like opens that up. Very very eloquent. He opens that up and takes you guys in, and inside you can see something that like this thing for like player reference. Something that looks like it's straight out of Alien. Or it's like the load lifter thing that she was using to fight the queen or whatever. It's like, we got several forge frames right here.
That may be a little bit too big for walking around the space, don't you think?
Well, all of the halls are designed to have them be able to function in. So,
can Ponzi investigate, see if he can figure out how this thing works?
Yeah, absolutely. Investigation check or a Tinker Tools check.
As he walks over there, I go like up to the guy and I'm like, you're a tough guy, couldn't you like lift up some stuff? I mean, right?
It was not 20 plus 4.
Not 20.
Okay.
All right, not 20. You hop into it, and you're like immediately start flipping things. But you seem to flip things in the right order because this thing like kind of stands up with you in it, but it starts to wobble a little bit. You're not able to quite reach the arm controls from here. You've just got your feet and the leg controls.
And I'd like to walk over to Dak and be like, Dakin, I need you to lend me a hand
Yeah,
here.
the arms like hang to the side as you like kind of like penguin walk over to it because of the way like you can't balance with the arms.
It's like,
And the
alright.
guy is about to give you like a retort to your statement, and then sees this thing as, okay, good, you guys have everything under control. Just close the door on your way out.
Alright, later, Bob.
I think he zips his way out.
Oh, as he leaves, I go, name's Dakin, by the way, and I like put my little claws hand out. I'm like,
It's like, he like with two fingers like shakes your hand. He's like, "Oh, very nice to meet you." Roll an insight check.
21.
That a whole lot
Cool.
higher than you needed. You dealt with this kind of reaction from people a lot. Kobolds aren't really a welcome race, species, or whatever term we're using nowadays. In the world, kobolds are regarded almost like vermin.
Yeah,
So
You're a rat, dude.
you're like, you're not a rat person, but you're treated like, like you're a little, dragonkin.
yeah.
But most people think of kobolds as nuisances or dirty, or like they'd be trying. Like that guy had the look on his face like he just shook a hand with a cockroach.
Oh, as I put my hands away, I'm like, I promise I'll call you. I promise.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, nothing. I didn't mean. I got a bunch of friends that are kobolds. Yeah.
Believe that, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sounds understandable,
Yep.
yeah.
Mhm.
Sounds good shit.
Yeah.
The token kobold.
Dakin, what you
Turn
down?
down gold for
Dakin, what you doing down there?
Oh, sorry, boss.
As I scurry up the suit, like in my little like dragon crawl, and I get
Yeah.
on top of him.
You guys had to do the T pose technique, to get in there, but you're able to put your arms in, and all of the controls to control like speed and stuff are on the bottom part. So all you have to do is like put your hands into the straps and like grab onto the arm things, and you can move the arms as he's moving the legs and controls the speed.
Yeah, so I
Walk
started,
all the way.
yeah, so I started like practicing.
I'm like, oh yeah, this feels good.
Dakin, signature T-pose. As the legs come together.
And then it has the
Yeah,
start going like this, like as he's moving forward. I'm
Yeah, and
like,
it's matching your motions that you're doing, and it's pretty fluid. You can tell that this, like you specifically can tell that this has gnome engineering in it. The forge frames are something that was created in uh, New Eberron by the gnomes that are partnered with that city.
Now, would I have seen where 12 went with the things he took from the paladin?
He went deeper into the facility, and you guys went kind of like the other direction
Yeah.
to find somebody.
So we would start heading in that direction.
Okay. Yeah, you're just walking down the hall with this thing. People kind of like some, these are people that you can tell look like they're lab lab cloaks. Not quite like lab coats, but like some of them have like the lab coat aesthetic, but then like they have a hood. Some of the because like there's arcane casters here. There's there's techie people. There's a mix. This is a place of both magic and science. But yeah, the guy was right. You're able to walk pretty freely in this place. While in this, you guys are like a large size creature essentially in this one chassis. But you're able to.
how big are the hallways? Like, they give you.
Oh,
nothing.
it's big enough to where they could like 2 or 3 of you could walk side by side.
Oh, so pretty big.
Like
That's big.
it's
That's big.
like some of the vehicles that you saw like at a glance in the place you just left could exit out into the hall and drive through here to get out.
Oh,
Like
God damn.
It's almost like a hangar.
yeah.
The hallways are like a hangar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's designed like for mobilization purposes.
It's a good thing these hallways are big enough for this, because it seems like it'd be a tight fit otherwise.
Yeah, you're making your way down the hall. You're at this point, like if you took a left, a couple back, and then like you could have gone out the front door, but you're headed deeper back into the place, and you see 12 walking right towards you,
Oh,
Yo, what up, Big 12?
oh.
and they just stop.
Give-
And like
give him a salute.
Oh, God.
The mirrored finish of their faceplate, just like you see your reflection as they cock their head slightly.
Give him a salute.
How's it going, Big 12? What's up?
Salute to the wrong arm.
Doing
Left arm.
well.
Easily.
Have you ever driven one of those?
First time for everything, but I think we're doing actually pretty well.
Fuck
Like
it.
again, there's no facial expressions. You just see like the body language shifts. He's like, "Why?"
Well, I figured since you're going to be one of our newest employers, we might try and lend a hand by familiarizing ourselves with the equipment around here and seeing where we can be useful.
That's
And as you can see, we're quite natural at one of these things.
Do you actually need anything from me right now?
No, sir. We were just on our way to go find some things that we can.
Deny. He just kind of steps around as they do. Both of you make a perception check.
21 again?
Yeah.
Oh, deceptive little kobold.
Perceptive and
10.
insightful.
Yeah. It's the therapy sessions with me.
I think you needed that.
Dakin recognizes something odd as they walk past. It's not the way they walk. It's not the way they've interacted with you. That all kind of fits.
That's how he smells
But
it.
only
like a
because of
lady.
the angle that you're at in the chassis, you're looking down on like the way their armor like plates together, and like sticking out of the side of it looks like a name badge, like just like the top corner of one.
Does he usually wear a name badge or no?
No, and it doesn't jive that would physically be possible.
Oh, so like I'll look down at like Ponzi and I'll be like, yeah, Ponzi, that something doesn't seem right about him. Like that don't like he seems a lot off.
Sleight of hand with that big machine.
Question before you leave, Mr. 12.
They like walk and talk.
Yeah.
They're keeping the walk,
Yes.
but they're not running. They're not
Yeah.
right. They're doing the
Yeah.
Vader walk.
So
to the place.
we kind of just follow right behind him. We have found that it's a little bit more difficult to move around since you haven't given us access badges. Do you have one we may borrow from you?
It pauses and goes. You see him tuck the edge into their armor and goes, and in a voice that's not 12's, turns to you and says, and it's a female voice, pops out and goes, "Well, we have ourselves a problem, don't we?"
Oh, that was not what I expected to come out of that.
No, nor did I expect there to be two of you in that thing.
At which point you kind of see Ponzi like over
Oh no, man.
Oh, it was just me.
Well, not necessarily.
I thought you both were still at LeBeau's.
Well, unfortunately, after receiving a traumatic head injury in just a short while ago, we are currently looking for a particular item that was procured by Blue Industries during that encounter.
Wait, how would she? Well,
She knows a lot of things.
how would you know we're at LeBeau's?
I know everything that happens in this city.
I mean, that's pretty crazy.
That means she's a high roller. So let's keep on her good side so that we may have a potential employer in the future.
Can we make money off of you?
What he means to say is,
She just holds up her hand and goes into 12's form, like, you wouldn't be the first, and you won't be the last to have made a few coin off of me.
Yo, I think that's a win. I'll take it.
Honestly.
They reach into like their hand dissolves into like the armor for a second, and then they pull out a little green jade elephant.
Oh, God. Everybody's getting them.
What's with the elephant, man?
Hold on to this and answer it when it calls. And then
Well,
like she like tucks it up into the armor because it's open. It's not like closed. Like
And
it's got like the security bars, but it's not glassed or anything.
and before she leaves, he goes, and what he means by that is, should you need anything, let us know.
Um, you'll expect to hear from Daniels.
Excellent. We will keep on the lookout for him.
Roll a history check.
Someone's got to know this lady.
I
14
wonder.
No, I
12.
actually don't
12.
know who it is.
and 14.
With a 14, you're like Daniels, something to do with this place, Daniels, and like you're a gnome. You're not young. You're not super old, but you were old enough to go. Like in your head, you go, Spy Master Daniels, and like immediately, like link up to the eye. Yes, Spy Master Kevin. Definitely draw a line between that and Tower.
She's talking about freaking spy masters.
And
Maybe.
and in 12's voice, you hear, "What are you waiting for?" And then shoos you off as they continue down the hall.
Nothing, sir.
Nothing, sir. As I like wax.
Bang!
I stumble back.
I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. Let's try and keep this thing from falling on its butt.
Technically, the robot's dexterity.
Well, yeah.
Oh no.
Showing its legs.
Oh, that's a 5.
Oh no! Are you start like pinwheeling back, bang into the side of the wall? Some of the lighting like sparks. You're able to stumble forward, maybe another one.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It should have been you. It should have been you, man, in the legs.
16.
16.
Okay.
You're able to, and like you like balance.
Yeah. Just doing the controls.
Yeah, and you're able to
Wizard
control.
doing
There's like a
fucking
part of the wall is like
in the
punched in a
bars.
bit, and like one of the lights is just like flickering and sparking behind it.
Cassius hears it.
Can I
Mr. Blue's like, "Chew!"
a casual walk away?
Quick shuffle.
Yeah,
Quick shuffle. Quick shuffle.
Wait, the machine's broke. Wait, the robot's broke.
No, the
We
wall.
broke a lot of stuff around it.
Fucking.
Well, this thing can take a beating.
Oh, okay. So I just go like, I just tell positive like,
Logan, you're like out of frame a little bit.
oh, sorry. I've been moving a lot in this section.
You got
No,
knocked
no,
out
you're
of
good, you're
frame,
good.
He been shuffling a little bit.
Just a little bit more, and you're back in.
But yeah, I just look at Ponzi and I'm just like, I am so sorry, sir. I'm so sorry.
Not at all. Not at all. We're on our way. First time piloting. Gonna be some bumps in the road.
Okay.
You guys continue to make your way deeper into space with a forge frame. As you're clinking your way along, you all round a corner as Dr. Clickerwidget rounds a corner, and you guys almost bump into each other.
Which Lily or
Lily,
Lily?
she's walking with purpose, and she's like stops.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Lily. Let's walk. We're gonna walk together. I'll look around, make sure nobody else is here, and what do you know about the boy? What do you know about the boy that's here?
She walks you over to like one of the. It's like an empty lab that's not being used at the moment. She palms her thing, opens the lab. You guys. She steps inside, and looks behind you. You're gonna follow. Okay. She reaches into her lab cloak, and you hear a clicking noise. She goes, "A lot."
I'm gonna pull the paw earring out, and I'm gonna hand it to her. And say that he's wearing one of these, and there's something off. In my home, somebody was controlling a shadow hawk or eagle. I'm not too sure what it was. It was a shadow, and it was watching us and had an uncanny amount of insight into what was going on inside and appeared to be controlled from outside. We might want to look into that. I think that's the key to the boy. Besides that, and his voice is going to change a little bit, he's going to lean in and say, I had a visitor. I don't know who they were, but they knew me. Is everything going according to plan with our architecture?
The Type 0 suit is almost ready.
What do you need from me?
I just need time. At this point, the interface functions. I'm able to get it to activate, and I can sync up with it. But we're having issues with other pilots, and I feel like it's somebody who's got to have some sort of connection with this to make this system smoother, or there's just always going to be that that lag in the controls. There's some sort of latency that happens between their will and the actions of the suit.
It might be an issue with the actual Neuralink. Okay, I need more minds to test out the system a little bit more. I'll work on that part. Thank you for what you're doing. Does the boy need a visit from me?
She like looks, make sure there's nobody in the room physically. The readings off of this boy are off the charts. It's like I've been around magical artifacts and I've studied some of their capabilities. We've back engineered certain things that make them, inspiration comes in all ways and sizes, shapes, and directions. But there's something incredibly powerful within him that didn't have anything to do with what he manifested in front of me. Pretty sure he trusts me, but Project Nightingale's a long way from here. Yeah. And it has nothing to do with Blue Industries.
Right. Let me ask this way. Do I need to pay the boy a visit, or does somebody else need to pay the boy a visit? And you'll see lights kind of flicker around me and sparks of like cosmic flash,
like a radiation flare that occurs as it's like almost like a cosmic radiation. Who do you change into?
That's why I'm asking her. Who does she need? Who would benefit from a visit?
Honestly, he needs to get out of here.
I can make that happen. Do we need anything before that happens? And where does he need to go? Because we can't lose track of this one.
That would be preferred, not me.
Yeah.
We're about to pull a jailbreak here. Like,
She looks you dead in the eyes.
Personally,
She has a 21 on an insight check.
You asking for me to counter that, or what?
Are you going to counter it?
No.
Or can she trust you?
She can trust me. I don't see.
He knows my daughter. As long as he's with my daughter, I'll know where he's at.
Do you know where your daughter is?
Yes.
Is she close?
Too close.
How long?
She's in the city now.
Do you have any images of her? How do I know?
She pulls out of her like pocket protector. She pulls out this thing that looks like a switchblade. Or no, it's not a switchblade. I'm going out later. Gonna practice my stabbing. No, she pulls out a Swiss Army knife looking thing with all these little weird combinations of like modern day looking like utensils and tools and stuff. But she like opens it up, flips it open like a locket.
Okay.
And a little illusory image, like a hologram, appears over it, and you see this little brown-haired girl that's got like brown, like little pigtails, and it looks just like her, but like as a kid.
Okay.
And in the image, you can see somebody off of the images as it plays. And you're like, first you thought it was a picture, but they were just like standing there looking, and they got a big smile on their face as they're handed this big white fluffy hoodie. And then you see like an older gnome come into the side of it, like an old gentleman gnome with a big bushy beard and like curly like hair with like a like the Picard thing going, and he goes, "Just wanted you to see her on her birthday. Good. Hope you're doing well, Lily. Hope you're doing well, Dusty."
Okay.
And she goes, "Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad." And she closes it.
How close is he to your daughter?
They spent a lot of time together recently, and they both were removed from the clutches of Project Nightingale together.
So they've gone through a traumatic event together. So we could say that there's some trauma bonding that went on. Okay. Thank you, Lily. I appreciate that, and
I want you to understand the significance of what I just trusted you with. My greatest creation is my daughter.
hopefully we can keep it that way, even after we succeed. We're running out of time.
She looks concerned.
I had a visit from somebody, and it's somebody I've known in the past, but I can't remember now. Time is fuzzy for me. I'm over 700 years old now.
She like, you see her narrow her eyes, kind of like looking at you with different like perspective.
Yeah. She was wearing a tower symbol, not tower as we know it. Old tower.
So I say you came from Tower originally.
I did. So this is from a past life, and I'm not sure who it was, but they know a lot. They know about projects, and I'm going to ask you to be honest with me. Do you know about any experimentation with time?
Roll an insight check.
First roll is a 21. Second roll is a 10. 20.
Her mask is flawless, but a mask it is.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, I've trusted you this far, then I will be completely open with you. Yes, I have. Mr. B.L.U.E came to me and asked me for help with an equation. He couldn't figure out how to stabilize a quantum matrix that would project around a chronos singularity and stabilize it.
Were you able to solve it?
Yeah, it wasn't hard.
Good.
Bro forgot to carry the tube.
I'm going to put my hand on her shoulder. It's going to be very cold. And I'm going to say, Lily, I'm glad you trusted me with this information about your daughter. It is safe with me. Whether or not she is safe is not up to me. when you tell me things, you're not just telling me, and I can't control that. Please understand this.
You see, like her face switches to concern.
I also beg you to please only release information that you absolutely have to people. And to remember that I can't control everything. And I'm going to ask for a direction. Not the physical direction, but I'm going to ask for a little bit more information on what needs to be done in order to release whoever is being held and if her daughter has anything to do with it.
You see her just like exhale a breath. You know, well, I guess where you'd start is, and then we'll cut back to you in the cell.
Okay.
I'm kind of just sitting there. I'm like, you know how when you're bored and you just sit with like a bouncy ball and you just throw it and it bounces off the floor and off the wall? I'm doing that with an Eldritch Blast.
This is some
And it does.
wall.
It literally does. It does ricochet. Like,
That's awesome.
Just over and over again.
There's definitely some sort of shielding on the floors and the walls and the ceilings and everything. That's like your magic just literally just like Teflon, just ding 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 ding.
Never knew I could do this. Just over and over again. My shadow's chasing it back and forth.
I love that. That's great.
So did you really leave? Am I finally alone? Throw it again.
You do and it stops in midair. Ooh.
That's not fucking creepy.
And you see it like slowly spiral inward like a black hole. I am always here, but I can't always speak to you.
Is there a particular reason for that?
You have but a shard of my essence. My connection is too weak.
I don't know if I should, but I'm gonna ask anyways. Are there more shards?
Yes.
You've already sharded your pants once.
Nearby?
I am so glad you asked. And in your mind is like an inverted color of the room that you're in. All of a sudden, like everything with like the black switches to white. It's like Mr. Negative from Spider-Man. Just
Okay.
everything around you is, and you see you like walk forward like uncontrollably and look back and see yourself just like kind of staring at the singularity, but now it's bright white while the reality around it switched colors.
Okay.
And you walk through the wall of the door and you walk down the hall. As you're going, like everything around you has got that whole like Lord of the Rings, somebody put on the ring like effect going on, or
Fuzzy eye.
but like
It's cool.
but the colors for everything are inverted.
Okay.
So it's not just black and white, but like it's literally like if you hit invert on like the color spectrum.
Yeah, everything's like negative.
Yeah. So as you're moving through this place or whatever, you kind of like shift quickly through down the hall into an area. It's got like over the top of the door frame has a giant blue and white striped like caution strip.
Okay.
Um, and you step through that doorway with difficulty. Like something's pushing back as you do. And you do this like walking drift thing as you're like part of you starts to peel away. You take a point of damage.
Oh shit. Okay.
And you're like, you can't control it. You're moving forward with intent, and another piece kind of wisps away. You take a point of damage.
Okay.
And you make your way through these halls until you get to like a T junction that you're like, I don't know, and you like pull to the left and you leave behind some more of yourself and you take another point of damage.
Okay.
As you get to a chamber that is a big cylindrical room that as you reach to go into that door, you're that's like you're touching like a solid surface, but you're able to like push through just enough where you can get like your face and throw stuff too. You take another point of damage.
Okay.
And you can see inside this chamber at the center of it, like there's a whole bunch of like emitters or like there's like crystals and things like that that are all focusing on this one little thing in the middle of the chamber. Floating above a pedestal is another black shard like the one that you absorbed.
Hmm.
And you snap back.
Kind of sore.
Black ink starts to run down on your nose.
That's fucking gross. And you want me to collect that?
If you want to be free of Griggs, you need to reclaim that piece. With it,
Doesn't really sound like a bad deal. Not gonna lie.
yes, we have a deal.
What?
And we cut to the chaos curve here.
Meanwhile,
Clunkety, clunkety, clunkety.
As we are wandering around down for what do we see as we're going around?
At this point, you're getting into places where like people are actually having to get out of the way more. Like you see more security people, like, and they're confused what these guys are walking through. And a face that you've seen but haven't met. A blue-skinned individual, no hair, comes striding forward in a way that almost seems like they're gliding. But you can tell there's some motion going on underneath the robes.
oh no.
Um,
Oh man.
as they're going, people are getting out of their way more than the people get out of your way because you're just physically obstructing. And they're like nodding. So it's like, director, excuse me, director. And he walks up to both of you who are in the suit and goes, "Who do you think you are?"
Oh, well, I'm Dakin, sir. Nice
You're gonna
to
see the little gnome head pop up. And Ponzi, we were just recently brought in by 12 after a skirmish that happened at, I believe, one of your employees' homes.
and I believe he trusts us, at least for now.
Your security clearance is only for certain areas. 12 was too busy to go over all of this, I assume.
Unfortunately, he was. We have not received any clearance nor a current lay of the land, which is what we are doing right now.
Yeah, I kind of believed that was a lot.
Out of the suit. Exit the forge frame, please.
Yep. And Ponzi would hop out.
Yep. Okay.
It opens
Yes,
up.
sir.
No. Come with me, little ones. Let's talk. I've heard of you, and
Yeah,
I've read a few files. It'll be interesting to put a face to the chaos.
Well,
Huh?
yes.
I believe that's what we
Uh,
specialize in.
everyone calls me Mr. Blue, but my name is Director Griggs.
And
He smiles like the director's his first name.
pleasure to meet you, Mr. Blue.
Hey, director.
And
Mr. Doctor.
he shakes your hand. Roll an insight check.
18.
You sense no ill will towards you for being a kobold. He literally just
He knows
shook
what's
a
up.
person's hand.
Yeah, he knows what's up. Oh, I see. You're not racist towards me.
Says it.
Just calls him out.
He kind of like pauses at like first step and then continues walking. No, you see, your species has the capacity to infuse so many gifts. The draconic bloodline that runs
Oh, I
through your
like
kind
that.
is
I don't like
is
that.
just so versatile. It's adaptable. It can be used for hybrid transformations of all sizes and types. In fact, I've seen several of your kind that had like multiple sets of wings. They were able to manifest and harness their draconic nature, not just in a way of how they would normally do when some of the more sorcerous types are able to emit their breath weapons, but they were able to channel that element and focus it in like both an offensive and a defensive way.
Some don't survive.
I knew you had potential in you.
I mean, that sounds pretty good to me. I don't see anything wrong with this equation at all. All that stuff you just said, I doubt that's ever going to come back to bite me, all right?
Well,
Perfectly useful information.
it's just funny because I've heard those exact same words before. Is it a mentality that all of your kind has?
Oh, dude, you are so fucked.
What kind of mentality, director?
You you seem to have a reckless abandon, a carte blanche to engage in activities with high risk, high reward.
That was definitely a word. Carte blanche.
Well, as you see, while he may be blessed with many gifts, caution is not one of them. That's where I come.
And that's what makes me help you, Mr. Director.
I understand you've been of great assistance to Blue Industries.
Why, yes.
You have my deepest of thanks.
As I like tap his back with my little claw, I'm like, why, yes.
He just kind of looks. He looks down and goes, "I'll allow it."
Yeah.
But yes, unfortunately, we were not given the lay of the land of the facility, and we were currently on our way through. As you can see, too, we have proven that we are quite adept at using some of the machinery around your facility as well.
Not many people can pilot one of these. It's impressive.
Which I guarantee you, we did not cause any destruction.
Yeah, I promise I didn't break any walls.
Any lasting harm to your facility while learning the ropes on this machine.
Look behind me, it's just a whole fucking flood everywhere. I promise I didn't do anything.
Roll a deception check.
Oh god.
Oh crap. 7.
Oh, that makes it so much better.
You roll a deception check. Not for what you said, but
But,
as,
yeah,
as an
Ponzi is not-
assistance.
Ponzi is not great at these. 16.
The 11 that I got beat your 7, but as he goes to turn to say something, you draw his attention and he literally turns so he physically cannot see down the hall to the damage that you've done. He goes, "What a curious statement."
And I would like to kind of draw his attention by drawing one of the cards to Mr. LeBeau's, and I have like a little free drink coupon. Next time you're down there, if you are ever in the area, feel free to have a drink on us.
He takes the card, goes, "It's so infrequent that I get to leave here. I'm so just up to my neck in work."
Well, maybe you need a vacation, sir. Put some vacation work in. Yeah, a week, vacation week.
Well, I believe we
You
have.
know what they say about out of hands? And he takes the card and puts it in his
I
robes.
believe we may have wasted the director's time enough. We'll be on our way if you can just kind of point us in the way we can figure out where we can and where we cannot go.
If you see on the corners, and he points out like these like green squares a little bit farther down, that is the staff area. Feel free to stay in along any wall that has a staff area. So if you look here, and he gestures, and there's like a white and black hash in the corner, and one of the little like white rectangular tags. This is for security. You have to be a security clearance to come into this area.
Excellent. Which also, by the way, seeing as we may be of future help to you, is there a way we can procure a little bit more equipment? For you see, the last time one of your doctors had to give me an examination because I took a pretty heavy blow to the head. And I'd like not to repeat that.
Well, I did see the file on that. That was interesting.
There's a file on that?
It's file on everything.
I'm sure he's got a file on this.
Oh my gosh.
That's how well known we are.
That's right. We're the best.
I do
best
find
people.
myself in your debt. What would you like?
I want cobalt armor, sir.
Oh, I have some things made from kobolds you would absolutely love.
Okay, not made of.
Yeah.
Oh,
Are
These
you-
two people are talking about Cobalt's death. I mean, the doctor freaking that you got down the hallway said the same thing.
Is he
Right?
going into
He
a
like
panic attack?
he like leans in and what looks to be like a trying to be a gentle like there kind of thing on your shoulders. He pats your shoulder, but his height to your shortness, he's literally folding over you as he's doing this and like blocking the light from behind him. So like
That's
he's like
funny.
his face and everything is cast in shadow. And he's like, "It's I meant no disrespect. It's just your kind only live at best 5-6 years.
Yeah, well, I am at 7, so I
You
guess
burn like a blazing fire."
You make the most
Like
of it.
quick and gone too soon. But your scales share a draconic quality that can be used.
So you're saying that I could have draconic armor? Like,
Well, you asked specifically for kobold though.
well, like,
Made of cobalt.
like what a kobold could wear, like
Oh.
of my size.
I think I could have something sent to you. He's like, I don't keep it on me. But
Oh, that's good.
I can imagine Dak just uneasily laughing. With
A nervous laugh.
I kind of had a feeling you didn't have it on you. You're a big fella, big fella. Here we go.
Assessment says childlike behaviors. I'm reading it right now.
I'm gonna look back at Ponzi. I'm like, can we please, please?
We'll
This
get
guy's
from it
freaking.
very shortly. As for me, however, I believe your company
Sure.
came into the acquisition of a particular weapon, and as a connoisseur of the arcane, I was hoping that I could study it, and if you could assist me with something that I could wield it with.
he looks at you, cocks his head. The hat, the nose. Not a sorcerer. No, you're studied, aren't you?
I am quite well, and a keen eye that you observe that.
Yes.
Yeah, he got a big old brain on him.
Well, you're in the right place because
Well, like that
Blue Industries is
sword.
the home of big old brains.
And I'm looking forward to lending my assistance to you.
Good.
Yeah, I'm just very good with instruments. As a little flute.
Make a check. Make a performance check or a tools check with it.
Performance. 16?
Yeah, you bust out a little jazz flute.
Did you like that, Mr. Director?
The composition was quick and it was experimental. I find it right. How do you say? Up my alley. This is,
weirdo.
he's like, this is the most I've talked to anyone in a long time.
Yeah, I know. We should be friends.
I'm not sure about that, but
Don't worry. His definition of friends means you haven't made his head explode.
it's true.
Good. Once you do that and I go to hell, there'll be a different story.
That's a very specific ending for your soul.
Well, he does have a short lifespan, as you mentioned earlier, and
Yeah.
he's not expecting much.
And I'm definitely not. I don't seem to be good or.
He kind of like,
What kind of shit?
I thought the Crimson Emperor still collected the souls of the kobolds of this world.
That's my hell. Yeah.
We don't.
Oh,
we
you
don't,
know
we don't tell him that.
that honestly, you're probably closer to right than you are wrong.
At which point, like, yeah. So if you can point me in the direction where I can acquire those items, so I can study them, I'd greatly appreciate it.
Right this way, and he starts to like just kind of like herd you guys, but he's stepping in the
Yeah.
middle of it and like kind of like patting you along. And,
Yeah.
Um.
But I'm gonna ask him. I'll be like, well, where are you sending that armor if you are getting me armor?
I think he's taking us to go.
He reaches into his robes and pulls out the free drink coupon to LeBeau's. I believe this is where 12 collected you earlier.
Yes, sir.
And he
You are correct.
slides it back in.
Okay. Thank you.
Unless you're Dr. Griggin's new roommates.
The extension wasn't given to us, and we have accepted his offer.
No, please, guys, stay
It
away
was
from
not.
me.
Safe room only for you guys.
He's got the
He's like,
halflings.
stay the
He's
fuck
got the
away from me.
halflings out there. He doesn't need the
Yeah.
kobolds.
It was a
Yeah,
nice
that's why
sleepover.
We haven't accepted just yet.
You know what? Do you know anything more about this doctor?
Oh, he is quite skilled in his craft. An asset to Blue Industries through and through.
As we hope to one day be.
You already have been quite an asset. I prefer to keep your employment under the radar. Like,
Indentured
is that how they say it?
servitude.
Under the radar?
I believe you are correct.
Excellent.
Do these things stand out too much? And he holds up the wristband that's on.
When you leave, they'll take that.
Okay, excellent.
Boom.
The place shakes.
Oh.
Some of the lights wink. He quickly, and he gets you to the chamber that has basically the lockup of the stuff that was just brought in from this situation. He just palms the door and he goes, "This room, green area, this room, nowhere else. Understand?
Correct.
Good." It has disappeared.
So let's take an investigation check. See what we
The
see.
place rocks again.
Let's do a very speedy investigation check. See what we see.
Cassius is looking for armor.
Meanwhile,
Investigation.
Well, I don't.
you guys
He's-
run in and
he's-
start looking.
Yeah.
You have finished getting the specifics on what you need to disable the field.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I was worried why someone would need that, but I solve puzzles. That's what I do.
That makes sense.
So,
Very similar, you and I, in terms of having to solve issues. However, I think we need to rapidly unsolve.
the place
And
rocks.
He grabs onto the wall.
Dust like rains from the ceiling a little bit.
Mhm. Cassius grabs onto the wall and
She immediately
pulls his scalpel.
she pulls out what looks like almost like a tricorder from Star Trek, just flips
Mhm.
it open real quick, starts pumping into some stuff, and like little holographic things appear, and she's like, no, he's too close to her. He's too close to her.
What do we need?
I don't. Boom! And it shakes again. It feels like an earthquake,
Mm-hmm.
but you can hear like almost like a sonic boom. This
Yeah.
cacophony there, and like now all of a sudden, there's no sounds, but in the hall the lights flash between the normal and red, and they keep alternating. 12 is busy. Damn it. And she closes it. I need to take care of this. 12's too close to her.
Too close to who?
Clementine, my daughter.
Do you want me to get to her first?
I don't know if you can. They're across town. They're over by the rundown area, almost to that arena that's over there.
Do we have any assets over there besides 12?
No, he flew off, I guess, to do this. He was here in the base not too long ago. I passed him in the hall.
2 booms though.
Hmm?
2 booms.
Would I recognize at all what this is? What this explosion is?
You've seen in some test footage that you were able to get access to when 12 goes all out
Mm-hmm.
and actually takes his limiter off.
Mm-hmm.
He can punch that causes atmospheric disturbance.
Okay. So it's an actual shockwave, like compression of
Yeah,
air.
yeah. It's literally he creates sonic booms when he swings.
Okay.
She's like, the fact that there were two is impressive. Whoever, and she's like, flips the thing back open real quick. She's like, he's okay. They're not near each other anymore, but he's above the sea. And again, boom! Another one rocks the place. Boom, boom, boom. Now it's like fireworks going off, like a rapid succession. He's like, I we need to send security out to run interference. I need them to take her in. I'll hide her here if I have to. I can't trust her to be out there like that. I don't have the clearance to dispatch security. You asked who you should change into? Him. Send them. Save my little girl.
Cassius is going to push her back a little bit and start to change into 12.
You do, but like it's not quite right because without the armor, your physical form can't quite create it. So she can see that there's something wrong. She's like, she reaches into some of her pouches and she pulls off this. It looks like his armor, but like done up in white, and like where the number would be is blank.
Okay.
And she's like, I've been holding on to this. Grix gave me this. It can go right back to me if it's discovered on you. It is Nightingale armor. And she hands it to you.
Is that the one? Is it go onto my spine and everything?
Yeah. You put it on it, like up in there. But you're able to like kind of like morph with it to make it to where you look almost exactly like him. It's not 100%, but it's like a good 95.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to.
The last thing that happens is the 12 appears on the thing.
I'm gonna run towards. I have a way to speak to security, I would imagine. I'm gonna go in his. I don't want to go over the radio. I'm gonna run to the closest security alert system, and I'm gonna start directing orders and sending orders to security teams to
boom, 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 boom. More of these like rapid like sonic booms as you dispatch these people, and without question, you could hear the sounds like as the troops are now heading out the front, and some of the other exits that exist within the fortified area of the higher levels. This facility generally is it's like main level and it goes deeper instead of going up, but there is some exits, it's entrances for security and higher ups that can get in and out from the higher levels. They are being dispatched to the streets to try and acquire Clementine.
I'm going to also cast elevated sight, so my eyes turn white and I just look up towards the sky, and I get about 120 feet above me, 360-degree view around the building to try to see as far into the distance as possible to see if I can see what direction it's coming from. Plumes of smoke or something.
Your sensor that you throw up, it's almost like it's not far enough because it's up in the levels of the palisades and the different fortified walls. It's just able to see up over this wall that is directly above the facility. Because remember, you guys are a little lower.
Yeah.
So it's just enough to where it can see, like it's just perfectly like the bottom half of its vision is the top of the crenellations and the fortifications and stuff up of this area, and immediately you can see like orcs decked out in the black armor with the white sash across the top, across their chest, like running and like passing through the sensor. So that's kind of disorienting at first, but you can see just at like the where it starts to get almost too blurry, two figures, one bright purple and the other one like shining white in the light, spinning around and flying and clashing into each other. And every time they do, boom, 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 and like they'll separate, and you'll see purple energy like flying at the other one as the other one's like you see like concussion waves flying through the air as the other one's dodging and throwing like purple energy blades back at each other, like, and it's just Meanwhile, in your cell. Boom. Boom.
Someone's having fun.
Wait for it. Boom. Boom. And then as that series of thuds and booms, and then it starts to hit the firework level, and you hear him go, try the door.
Cassian's actually going to start making his way to him because now is the perfect time.
The door opens, and you see 12 standing on the other side.
Nope.
And then,
I grabbed
but like the body language is one of like they were reaching for the thing and they're confused as why the door opened.
Mm-hmm.
As the door recedes, you can see like tendrils of shadow, almost like sticky like elements that have like stretched away as coming from your shadow up against the door, like pushing it open.
I just take, I mean, it's.
You see him standing there. You see,
Okay,
like, you see the tacky stuff. Like
You said 12, so I'm making sure it's me.
Nope.
the
not
old
me.
switcheroo.
It was not me. I'm not doing that. I'm
I
not
take
doing
a
that.
step back and I look at it.
I am not doing that. That's not me.
Oh.
It looks like it, but it's not me.
Oh, you're doing it. Oh, you're doing it.
Maybe unintentionally.
Hey, it doesn't matter. You're doing it. And we're going to figure it out. Are you okay?
I feel mostly fine. A little bit of a
Mostly?
headache. A little bit of a headache. You know.
I'm just going to pull out something that could bring back his the few hit points that he lost. Actually, I'll cast.
Technically missing 6, but you can only heal 4.
Yes, looking for it. Well, I was just going to use my medical knowledge and actually give you
I'll
medicine.
let you roll a hit die
Yeah.
to recover.
Yeah.
Fuck even is my hit die? Let's see. The firewall action's different.
You should have a D8 and 2D10 you could use.
Yeah. Does that use one of my hit die?
Yes.
Okay.
I have healing word, but I mean that's overkill, and it's a spell. So
I'm fresh now, so
it's okay.
fresh.
How about now? You good?
Better.
Good.
Soreness is gone.
What's wrong?
I think it's time to go.
Yeah, I would say so.
You're in on this?
Inside of this room, behind him, you see veins of black. Not covering the walls, but like spider webbing across it that are slowly receding into his shadow behind him that he can't see.
Okay. I'm going to look around at it, and I'm going to look at you, and I'm going to say, like you said, it's time to go. Don't run from me.
Roll an insight check. Are you using 12 voice?
Yes.
Okay. Roll a deception check or performance
17.
with advantage for you.
I have advantage on it anyway. Nat 20 plus 121.
12 has told you not to run from him. Where are you going?
We are going to the lower levels. Not quite the tunnels.
Can I feel the shard?
Can't feel it. You cannot feel it. You're pretty sure it's shielded.
Okay.
But you know where to go. You know which halls to take. You paid for this already. This knowledge was seared into your mind.
Because I want to say to him, like, we got to make a pit stop, but we're getting out of here. But the pit stop is the same idea.
Okay. This is where you go. We need to pick a pit stop, and you would.
I know a place.
What do you think?
Follow me.
Yeah, he's going to go to walk in front of me, and I'm going to once again grab his shoulder, really cold hand, and pull him. Do not run from me. And I'm going to let go. and I'm gonna follow
Okay. You guys are making your way through the base as more the place just rocked from all these different like sonic boom, just crazy. There are titans fighting in the city, not in size but in power.
him. Yeah, and I'm gonna say I haven't felt this in a very long time,
I've never felt this shit. So
and you don't want to.
You would remember how since the shattering, the might of the world has slowly degraded. So a lot of the really powerful heroes turn into warlords, and then they warred against, not warred, but like there was direct conflict between them at some point. So that a lot of the higher level characters that would exist in a campaign, um, there's not a lot many. Like they either went underground or they're gone. Ever since Tower fell, and it's been a thing to watch the heroes of the world become villains,
Yeah,
or at the very least thugs,
right.
for the most part, with a lot of the good natured ones that having to go underground and be vigilantes or just retire, just because if you put your head up too much, it's like you're the nail that's sticking
They're
out.
too useful for their own good.
So um, but even through your sensor, which you can flash back to every once in a while to watch what's going on, they are flying at superhuman speeds through the city. It's like watching two superheroes fight. Like they're the collateral damage of their fight as the sun is setting and the
Superman and fucking
night feel
Black
feels the
Adam
thing.
type shit.
You're watching two people that you watch the guy who's glowing purple get hit by a combo from this from 12, and like pieces of him crack and break, and then they snap back into place, and his eyes flare purple, and he just unleashes some sort of mental attack.
This should not be possible.
Yeah, there's but the face of the guy who's in purple, roll me a perception check. As you get one clear shot, let's see how clear.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. I'd say just right. Between the orcs going. You see as squadrons of these large white dragons being ridden by the orcs take to the sky to interfere, like as the cops are showing up to this bar fight, uh, flying up to meet them. As he looks back towards your sensor almost perfectly, you recognize this face. The coloring's wrong, but you recognize the scales that run along the jawline. You recognize that fierce look of like determination on the face, and you recognize the face of Lawson.
Oh,
But what he's wielding and what he's doing doesn't match up to what you expect.
right. I expect him to just
So roll a history check to see if any of this information about this guy has come across your desk. Because you recognize his Lawson's face, but it's not Lawson.
It's 10.
Yeah, I guess you don't have the clearance for this one.
Yeah.
But it's like a Lawson, but not.
Okay. However, he's fighting one of my
Coworker?
who I dress as.
Yeah.
And I don't want a piece of that.
I don't think you want a piece of either of them. To be
I don't
fair.
want a piece of that at all. So I have learned real quick on the spot that I do not want to be in this form anymore. I'm going to grab onto his shoulder and I'm going to change back into Cassius.
Okay.
And with the disturbance and the
You are still clad in that white armor as you switch back.
yeah, and with the disturbance
That was
in
fucking gross.
yeah, it's gross the way he does it.
Almost like a horror movie with like the face like
Well, I mean,
almost like the
the
Matrix.
description I can
Like
read, but
Please don't.
if you
Please
like,
don't.
Yeah, if you like to describe.
so yeah, as you see him, I've written this because I'm not going to remember it all. Cassius stands, his posture resolute as the air around him begins to ripple, shimmering like heat waves. Rising from the ground, the distortion intensifies, and the ripple shifts into a crackling haze of static electricity. Because of the distortion in the collapsing of the air and the way that they're causing things, it's a little bit more pronounced, which is why you're able to perceive this. Um, faintly audible low hum that grows intensely, small bursts of blue light appear, flickering and expanding like miniature supernova, each one radiating energy that seems to distort the very fabric of space. As these bursts of light intensify, Cassius's skin begins to tear in a way that defies nature. Thin, glowing fractures spread across his body like cracks in porcelain, revealing the raw muscles and tendons beneath. The exposed tissue twists and reshapes with unnerving precision, each sinew and fiber realigning to form the contours of his desired form. The process is excruciating, his body racked with waves of agony as his essence is unraveled and rewoven at the atomic level. The bursts of blue light, though brief, leave trails of energy that seem to momentarily warp gravity, pulling nearby particles into their orbit before dissipating. These atomic collisions serve as the foundation of Cassius's transformation, forcing matter to adapt to his will. The very air around him feels heavy, charged with an almost tangible tension, as if reality itself is being rewritten. This happens in the matter of seconds, and the transformation is complete. Ripples fade, static dissipates, and Cassius stands in his newly formed visage. So he has his face back again, wearing that white armor, and he looks you in the eyes and says, "Still stands. Don't run from me. We're on the same team right now. We have the same mission. Let's get it done, and let's live."
If I hadn't gone through Project Nightingale, I'd probably be having fucking nightmares tonight. Seeing that shit.
I was gonna say that was probably the
Let's
slight-
just.
I can help you with nightmares.
And
I'd rather not.
with that, we're going to cut to the Rummagers. As you guys are terrassing through the gears, like the place is shaking, dust things are falling off the shelves because of the stuff. Investigation checks.
11.
18.
18.
No, not even 11. 9.
9. Okay.
No, 11. 11.
Yeah, it is a lot.
You're like looking for stuff, and like one of the shelves like breaks from the sonic boom, and like stuff falls on you, and you're like trying to like dig out of the and it's like it looks like
Little guy.
security uniform gear and in here for some of like the shelves or whatever. You go straight to the table in the middle, where across it is the sword that was taken. There's a little tag on the end of it, and it's got an incident number on it.
And then it's like,
Yeah,
Correct.
it's like, it says incident, and it's got a barcode.
uh,
And you're like, which to you in the character is just a bunch of weird lines.
weird lines that look weird.
Yeah, you're like, okay.
Do I also see anything that I can use to pick it up? Because I know I've only got like an 8 strength.
And you're a gnome.
Your
No.
investigation was a 19.
18.
18. Well, you're helping. You see that stuff fall on him, and you're able to like pull some of that off of him. You can see that they're above him in like a locked, like clear display case, like above it. There are 2 gauntlets, and they're like laid in there like this, but they've got clockwork like stuff all around the outside of them, with like blue stones for knuckles.
You said it's locked. Do I see any way that I can open it?
There's definitely, you can see the lock
Okay.
if you want to try and pick the lock,
Um.
because
So
you
it's-
try to open it and nothing happens.
Yeah. So does it look like we
Behind
could
you
shoot
in the
it
hall,
off?
you can see the lights are switching between like normal and red, normal and red.
Does it look like I can shoot the lock off?
You can certainly try.
All right.
Alright.
Duck.
Yeah, so can
Dodge.
give you an advantage.
Make me a range attack with your
No, wait.
pistol.
Hit it with the thing.
The wizard with the gun.
Put it on his head so he
He's a ballistics
let him
wizard.
tell.
Yeah. Use his fucking heads. Use the frills on.
Oh no,
on
I'm out of
Deccan's
spell
head.
slots.
Use the
Uh,
frills on Logan's head as
that's an
as
11.
iron
Oh,
sights.
11. That'll hit. Roll damage.
Nice.
It's like a D10 or D8.
13.
13. Super loud. Like this firing a firearm in a closed space with mostly metal walls. Your ears ring. You are deafened, both of you. There's no save for this.
Yes.
However, not only does it shoot the lock up, it shoots the door like in half. Like it shatters the door, and like you're able to get in here if you
I'd
want.
like to grab him and grab the sword, be like, grab what you need. We got to get out of here.
You and me, sure, standing outside the door, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then we just keep walking.
Oh.
Back in
Ew.
Fonzie grabbed the gauntlets and the sword, and he's like, grab what you need. We got to get out of here.
Jesus, it's the cops.
What do I see? Like, do I see anything?
You found a bunch of like gear that the guards have. One of which is a baton,
Oh, so
which draws your attention.
Yeah, so I'll grab the baton and be like,
Until you know how to use it, it's just a club.
We'll figure it out later.
Like when you have time to use it or learn how to use it, it might be something more to that.
could I?
We can have the smith take a look at it.
Do I have? I have self disguise, right? Where I can disguise myself.
I think you have it as a spell, right?
I
should have
Yeah, you
disguised
should have
self.
disguised self.
Yeah.
Well, you are filtered to only second level spells, so that probably won't help you. Considering it's not a first level spell or second level spell.
Well, I had it on all. I just didn't see it. So, well, I feel like I would have it. I mean, he has
You
it.
did. You
so
did have it
wouldn't I?
It is not on his spell list.
Well, could we just say I have it? Because I mean, he has it.
Let me
so.
check your stuff.
I think you're supposed to have it, but it's not on your spell list for some bonk ass reason.
Double check something real quick. I know you had it before. We'll say yes. I think you traded it out for Tasha's hideous laughter. Like the spell got changed because you didn't have that one prepared before.
Oh. Is there like some kind?
Or silent image, one of the two.
So I would like to disguise myself as a guard. If I
Okay.
could turn to a guard.
Will his body actually grow to match the size, or is he just a dwarf?
You can only
Or
make
gnome.
yourself a little bit taller with this illusion that you're creating, this alteration.
Yeah.
So if you guys do the shoulder thing, you could make it to where you guys look normal.
Oh, I got the gauntlets on, so I'm gonna pick him up.
So like,
And,
You put the gauntlets on.
Yeah, because I'm sure that's the only way that I would wield
You
it.
slip the gauntlets on. You hear click, 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 click as the clockwork starts to go. I need you to make
Uh-oh.
an intelligence check.
so if I disguise
I was
the guard, it
thinking
would
it was
take
the
us
same.
it would like change both of us to look like that, or
Yeah, it would. You would.
yeah. So it'd be like one.
You're technically wearing him, so yeah, I think.
Yeah, it'd be like one entity.
21.
21.
Okay.
Excellent. You're able to do what's called a rapid attunement because of the nature of this device. You feel it like pinch inside. You're not sure what that means, but all of a sudden you see Ponzi like bulks out like he's like all like jacked, and your strength is now a 19.
Yeah, I'm just
Fucking
picking
wow.
you
That's
up.
exactly what the gauntlets of
I knew it was gonna be exactly that. Gauntlets of Ogre power.
So yeah, I'm picking you up, taking the sword with you, and we're doing the
That's
size
awesome.
self to look like a
Yeah,
normal
but like
size guard.
he grows the muscles up. Like damn.
You put him on your shoulders, and you're like you pick him up. You're like, oh, he's really light. You know, you put him on his shoulders. It's like
You
you
normally
used to
look
have to
heavier.
like kind of duck and weave with him as you walk. And nah,
You used to be a lot lighter or heavier.
how about kid? Hey, Logan, you got out of camera again.
Oh,
You're completely. I was like, I see his shoulder. I was like, all right,
I
we're right.
accidentally lifted him too high.
Yeet! Just.
I am gonna
Oh.
eat you at some point.
yeah.
But yeah, you guys.
Cannonball special.
And you're kind of holding the sheath from the bottom, so that like in the illusion, it looks like he's holding it from up top because you physically couldn't carry this weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that makes sense.
Uh,
So, yeah.
as you pick up the sword, both of you hear,
We're gonna have to work that into one of our new acts.
Well, that was majestic.
Oh fuck!
Like, we'll deal with that later.
I would like to try to figure out what's going on. So if there is a room somewhere that we pass, I could go into to figure something out.
As you guys are headed down the hall, a group of like-dressed individuals, more security force, are coming. They're like, hey, You're going the wrong way. Go this way, this way. We got called out. We got to go catch a little girl.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is top priority. This is somebody who needs. This is like we need to. This is project. Get this person. Get them back here to base. We got.
Yeah, whoever she is.
And then you hear the guy next to him goes, "Ray, stop talking. Just stop talking." We're being dispatched. There's a security issue out there going on right now. 12 has sent us out there to go take care of a person of interest. We're to acquire, not harm, a little gnome girl and bring her back into the base.
Quick, act natural.
Yes, sir. Yes, I would love to go do that. Where to go do that?
Well, let's go! And then you get
Alright.
pulled up into this like squad of these security guys. As one of them like walks by and he goes, "Oh, my baton's gone!" And then he keeps going.
As I like.
I guess we'll need it. Guys, hit like a T in the hall as like you see several squads forming up, and like there's like a 20 or 30 of you that are heading out now at the front door back into Dragon's Mouth proper.
Oh shit!
As you are headed immediately into the entertainment district area to try and like acquire this little gnome girl. As you're running, he's like, "Oh yeah, just in case you didn't see it." And the guy holds up on his palm. He's got a little like looks like a sapphire that's like shaped like a dome almost or whatever, and it's got like clockwork circuitry and stuff along the bottom. And he clicks it, it spins underneath, and then projected up above is like an illusory image of this little girl.
Ponzi, ask him if we can take that for reference.
You mind if I take that device just to know if I
Make a persuasion check.
16?
Because I mean I signed it out, so I'm kind of responsible for it. So
Aren't we all responsible for it?
make a persuasion check.
Team effort.
While he's doing that, can I see if I can
Oh,
swipe
for
his
sure.
badge?
Make a sleight of hand check. He goes, "No,
Fucking thing.
yeah, but
Small.
it's like, yeah, but I'd be the one 12 comes after, so no."
Yeah.
16.
16. He is not paying attention to you. As you reach out of the illusion, grab his bag,
Excellent
like
work.
click it back in.
As I like,
That's not working.
when I like try like slide a hand like from Ponzi and like try to like put it on me like where
We'll do that
I would-
as soon as we turn away. We'll do that as soon as we turn away.
yeah, as I walk away from him,
We'll do that as we turn.
Okay.
Wait till they're not looking.
Yeah, as I walk.
As you reach for it, you hear Ponzi inside you say, "No, no, no."
Okay, sorry. Bad time.
So, but I'll ask the girl. I'll ask about the girl. I'll be like, "Well, who is she? Like, why are we going after her?"
Because 12 said so. And then you guys are herded out into the streets to go and find these people. Do you stay with the group? Because they're starting to fan out into the crowd. And then there are people in the streets looking up and watching dragons chasing both of these people through the sky as they're still fighting one another. And then like you see like the dragons get too close to 12 and like they go to do their breath weapons and he like just palms it like in their direction, and the force of the concussion wave just hits the dragon's breath weapon of ice and creates like an impact point away from them.
It's
And
fucking
ice
cool.
just creates like snow down onto the town.
I would like to try to get as close as possible to the girl. So
So
You don't know where she's at, but you know in the general direction to go.
yeah, so where everybody else is going.
Okay.
Yep.
You're driving
Yep.
because
No, I was gonna say I think we're in agreement with that. We're gonna continue searching.
Logan, I need you in the front. There you go. Hey, all right.
I'm gonna put a seatbelt on you.
It's cool because as you were talking, you're like,
I'll bring duct tape next time.
that was so good. It was just like, see ya.
Logan is not getting the bench
We have-
next.
we have-
It's not sitting in the bench next.
We haven't cast invisibility.
Getting a chair.
High chair.
You this close, you guys can. I mean, the being deaf wore off pretty fast. It's all things considered, but your ears keep popping from the concussion waves that are happening from these guys. At one point, you hear, and right through the top of one building into the street, almost directly in front of you, skids the purple glowing guy. He slams into one of the buildings, and through the dust, you can see like 12 physically has hit him into the ground as he stands up, and his armor is cracked. And like you can see like the mirror finish of his faceplate, there's a piece missing, and you can perhaps see inside. Roll a perception check.
And this is happening directly in front of us.
It's direct. It's about 10 feet in front of you.
Oh.
This went through the thing. There are some people who no longer are alive
6.
because of this. 6.
Perfect.
Bad angle.
Wonderful.
So perception 15.
15. Not quite there. You need to
Yeah.
just. You can see that there's like something on the other side. The guy on the ground looks like he's unconscious, and you see like the the purple aura around him start to. His eyes like are closed, and you can still see the glow behind them as they start to dim, and you see 12 touches their faceplate, and their hand shimmers like ripples, like weird like, and the faceplate fixes it.
Does 12 see us at the moment?
Doesn't look like it. He's still staring down at this guy.
So
and as he's doing this, you watch as like the cracks in his armor start to seal up.
with the guy that just landed, what I would like to do is make it look like I'd like to use minor illusion right on top of him so that it looks like he just went and did a teleportation and he is no longer there.
I will say 12's right there, so you can try, and we'll see what happens. So roll me. You create the minor illusion. Roll me a deception check.
Can I help with the deception?
How do you help?
Um,
It's not a no, but how do you help?
Can I like cough or like make a noise, like scream or something like that, so he looks over
You
at
want to
us?
scream?
Yeah, I go like.
How do you scream? All right. He turns and looks. I'll give you advantage on this one.
Okay. Advantage 18.
18. I gave myself disadvantage because he's disoriented from the fight and the distraction. One of my rolls was a total of 19.
Ooh.
The other one was a total of 17.
Holy shit.
Wow!
Right in the middle.
And you look down and you see like that person's not there, but from his perspective, the guy is gone. You're making a flat image over him.
Yep.
From your side profile of this, you can still see the body underneath.
Yep. Because that's I just want to remain in the shadows, kind of off to the side where we're not seen since he hasn't seen us, and just do that minor illusion that gives whoever just fell a second to recover.
You might not be able to tell it.
He looks over before, like, as you're doing the casting, but in a way, like, you're still hidden inside of his illusion.
Yeah.
So he can't see you doing the verbal and somatic components of this spell. He does look over to the right and sees you just 12 takes a step towards you guys and it's like stumbles. He goes, call in more of you. I need. He kind of like stumbles forward for a second. And as he does, you see the air around him kind of radiates like a heat shimmer, and he stands back up. He looks back. I need you to. Where did he go? Where did he go? He's like looking around.
Yep. And then you just, I'll whisper to Ponzi.
From the side, you see under the illusion, the eyes open back up with bright purple light. And through the illusion, he comes and he just... you see a purple energy blade come out and stabs right into the back shoulder of 12 through the front, like a lightsaber. Just,
that must look so
he's
sick.
like, and then like this weird, his voice distorter does that weird like thing that happens or whatever as it just overloads, and he's like, boom, and smacks him back, backhands him with that same shoulder and arm, like back over his shoulder, and smacks him through that building, and he goes flying after him into the rubble as the building starts to collapse underneath them.
We should go the opposite way.
Yeah. Unless I want to go like and walk away.
You guys head deeper into the streets and see that there's several other people in the crowd because just having to spread out to try and like create a net essentially but you guys are back behind that first wave because you had to stop. And I'll get back to you. You guys, you make it to the door. You can tell from the iconography and like the signage, this is Mr. Blue's private area. This is his zone in the base.
Do we sense him anywhere in any way possible? Would there be a protocol when something like this happens where he would go into that room and lock down? Do we know if that room is empty? Any sort of protocol that I'd be aware of, security-wise?
Everything having to do with this area is a mystery.
Okay.
He's kept it very close. You see his shadow ink up the wall beyond. You're not doing this. You watch it go into the control panel, like the palm reader, and the screen just from the inside looks like it's black.
I'm gonna look at him and go, "What are you doing?"
And you see it go, like crack the screen, and the door starts to open.
I'm gonna grab him
all of the lights and the indicators and stuff around this just go dark. We lose power.
I'm gonna grab his shoulder and run in and pull him with me as if he's sort of acting like he's a
Both of you make me either a perception or investigation check as you're passing through the doorway.
Dirty 20 for perception.
Oh, nat 1.
You're very focused on getting them in there.
Yeah.
With your dirty 20, as you're going out of the side, as you watch as your shadow is fully receded from the thing, the control panel looks rusted and deteriorated. It looks like it's aged or atrophied. Some sort of entropic effect has occurred here.
I wonder if it's like a front, like it's not actually. That's weird.
But yeah, and you look back and your shadow's acting normally like a regular shadow behind you.
I'm gonna run in and say, like I purposely did it, Director. I'm gonna call out for him and act like I have him as a prisoner in my arms.
Okay. You call out, and in this area, the lights do not flash back and forth between red and white. There's like a low blue lighting that comes from underneath and kind of gives the impression of being underwater.
Okay.
You're not.
Yeah.
But the way the lights shimmer a little bit, in some ways, it almost casts that weird like water effect on the walls a little bit.
Yeah.
It's got like a nice blue turquoisey turquoisey tint to everything. Okay. But the light is really dim. But you don't hear him. And you know there's supposed to be people in this side that work here, but you don't see anybody. And as it opens up into like, you immediately come in and it opens into 4 halls. One to the left, 145 off to the right, left, right, and then off to the right.
I think they used time to get out of there. They altered time, which is why the console's rusted. As if it happened years ago. But it didn't. Some fail-safe just happened, I think. Can I do a perception check of some sort just now that I'm in there and we're safe? Can I just look around and...
Yeah.
I don't know what that shit means, but...
18.
18? Each hall ends with like a big security door like the one you just came through. There's nothing along the way either way. There's no side doors, no nothing. It looks like this is going into separate zones. You know which one to take.
Yep.
Can you open these doors? You got us here.
You hear, follow the path. I will open the door again.
I guess I can.
Let's go.
This way.
You, in his steps, since he stepped through this door, along the ground where he has stepped, the metallic elements of the floor have rusted where he has stepped.
Okay.
Like you watch the floor age and deteriorate.
I'm gonna let go of him and I'm going to take a step back, and I'm going to walk around where his footsteps are, and just motion for him to go forward. I'm not going to bring attention to it, but I'm going to follow.
Yeah, it looks the same way he would have described the deteriorating of the control console. It looks like some sort of entropic effect has occurred here.
I'm just going towards the door.
Okay, you get there, and it opens up into another chamber. Again, the same process. As you step up, the shadows ink up onto the controls, and you watch as it does the same exact thing. It repeats the process in the door. The pressure in this chamber was so high that it blows wind at you as you open the door.
Okay. No. Brace with my foot behind me.
You feel something in your sternum pulling you in a direction now. And you hear, "It's very close. Mind the security." As you can see, as you're heading into this chamber, it's this big open area, and there's a lot of Warforged all standing around. And you didn't see this as you got pulled through before because you were kind of leapfrogging a little bit.
Yeah.
There's a full, almost like a defense squad or an assault force of Warforged, and they have glyphs on their foreheads that all match. And they are decked out in heavy plate that looks dark and gunmetal. You recognize adamantine. One of their hands ends in a sick blade that just continues on from their arm that looks like it's equivalent of a greatsword. The other one, their arm ends in what looks to be some sort of rotating barrel firearm.
Oh, Jesus.
You might be in some trouble.
They don't. They do not seem to respond to you entering the room.
I'm gonna cast False Life on myself, and give myself an extra 11 hit points, and tell him to stay back. Shit. And I'm gonna walk into the room as Dr. Cassius Gricken with the top security clearance, even knowing that I'm not supposed to be here.
One by one, you see their eyes light up red, Iron Man style.
I'm gonna ask for their help. I'm gonna say something is wrong. Help us. Where is the director?
And in unison, you hear them all go, "Present security code."
I hope you have a fucking code.
I should have.
Both of you make perception check.
Okay.
17.
7.
You are very focused on what's going on here.
Yeah.
And you can hear faintly the sound of a click behind you.
Oh, fuck me.
Well, I think you have the
look?
safest thing. Yeah.
Yep.
I'd rather have that.
Look, and you see almost like the Predator effect for the invisibility thing that you from that movie. You can still see what's there, but it looks almost clear.
Mm-hmm.
Is some sort of frame suit. When you see him look back, you can see the prototype suit.
I was gonna say when I recognize the sound of it.
As you watch as the liquid pouring off of it, the invisibility drops, and you hear Lily's voice come out of his speaker go, "I think this one is the password," and she fires something out of under the arm. It looks almost like a launcher of some kind. It goes tink, tink, and it rolls in the middle of him. It goes, and a blue field of energy just erupts into the room, and all the Warforged, it doesn't reach you guys.
Oh,
it looks like she aimed it just right, and you're out of the area of effect, and it just surges forward. All of the Warforged, their eyes go dark, and they fall forward. She's like, "That was a one of." The hatch opens. She's like, "You said this was important."
Lily, I am so glad you're here. have you ever been in this room before?
No,
Do you have anything to do with the designing of the security of this room?
no. This
Good,
is his.
good.
This is his.
Okay. There's got to be more than this, though. So let's press on and let's keep our eyes open.
You guys continue down the connecting hall, this beyond this chamber, and it hits the same door that you saw in the vision. It doesn't have the same security. It looks almost like an airlock.
Okay.
No lock on this one. Just a spinny wheel to unlock it. As you go to reach for it, though, you feel like your hand just seizes up, like you have like a cramp in your arm, just like pulls back. You don't seem to be affected by this.
I'm gonna walk up to the door, and I'm gonna try turning the wheel and opening it.
The fucking sound.
And you just literally like a submarine, or it swings open towards you.
Okay.
This suit that she's in, this hall is just big enough where she's like occasionally here, and she's like the shoulders of it or like the knee are catching.
Ooh.
Do I see anything? Is it dark?
The room is not. It's the opposite of dark.
Oh,
It is
Very well lit.
insanely bright.
Oh.
You can see multiple things in the room are emitting like daylight level, spell level, just radiance. There's crystals emanating things. There's actually like galvanic components that are being powered through science mechanisms. And in the middle, completely not giving a shit about how much light is on it, is a void of black that reminds you very much of what you had in your house.
Yeah. How did that get here? And then I'm gonna look over. Because there's only there were 3 people in there.
You look back, and his shadow looks like it's just like a wacky arm flailing and like just behind him. Just
I'm gonna push him away from it.
as you let do you let him?
I'm gonna physically push you, whether you let me or not.
He probably has higher strength than I do, so fuck it.
Yeah, you push him back just enough to where as you're about 10 feet away from the door, your shadow returns to normal, and you no longer feel like the arthritis
Yeah.
effect.
I'm
You
gonna
know,
look
the
up.
cramp.
I'm gonna say, Doctor, I need your help here.
We're doing this, huh?
We're doing this.
I'm gonna point at it. I need that.
She same arm. She just turns it like this, and you see it fires like a grappling cable launcher,
To grab onto
and
the
it grabs onto the black thing. When it does, you watch the cable start to turn black as it goes, like inks its way back towards her,
Okay.
and as she reels it back and catches it in her hand, it starts to turn the armor black in the hard hand of armor. She's like, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this, and she like drops it, and it slowly starts to go away, and it stops and starts inching its way back.
I'm gonna pull Lily out of the
The
armor.
piece drops to the ground. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
And I want to pull Lily out of the armor.
6.
She 6. You miss it.
Oh, it's a 7 actually.
Oh. 7. That catches it. No, I'm just kidding.
Still ass. Still ass.
So you reach and miss it, and it bounces. And as it does, you see it like you hear like the like of a water drop. As it and the area around it just goes black, like it splashes like black paint on the floor, and it bounces back up. Give me another one.
Okay, that's a lot better. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You snatch it up in the other hand than the one you caught originally,
Oh shit.
and you watch as it just sinks into your palm.
Kid, what are you doing?
Where it hit the floor, you see it start to do that rusty deteriorating thing, and it starts to fold in, and the piece of the floor just starts, and it starts to slowly expand out from that. Her armor starts to crack on the arm and the hand and stuff. It's still inching up, but now you watch as like it just deteriorates and falls. The armor starts to fall apart.
Yeah, and I'm pulling her out.
Like
of
here,
this.
well, she's in a suit, so you're like reaching out trying to hit the latches. Make me an intelligence check to figure out how to open this thing.
Can I ask him if he can stop that?
The end comes for all things.
So close.
I promised you. This is my promise.
Just a 5.
5. You're like trying to feel her. She's like inside. She's like freaking out. She's like, the emergency exit's not working. The interface won't interface.
Um,
You see the chamber of light, this spherical chamber where all this stuff is. As this hits that like line, it stops, but it starts to eat up along the wall around it. It just slow. It's real slow. It's like inches, but you can tell it's whatever's happening here is being annihilated. Not in a way of like magical disintegration, but just aging to its end point.
I'm gonna cast protection from evil and good on her.
Mhm.
Just out of
You have to be able to see your target for that, right?
oh yeah, she's completely encased.
Light.
She is.
Try-
She has complete.
You're
It's touch, so
Yeah.
try something with light, like anything with like even radiant damage.
I'm not that kind of cleric. Yeah,
Motherfucker.
not the kind of cleric you want me to be.
Shove her into the room.
She's like she's panic
Yeah,
backing
let's
out of
try
the
it.
hallway.
I'm gonna use guiding bolt. I'm gonna hurl a bolt of light.
She's like, here. She's like pointing with the other arm.
Yeah.
Stop it before it spreads.
I'm gonna shoot a guiding bolt at it.
Roll an attack.
Um,
Gotta hit a 19.
I'm gonna use fairy fire. I'm gonna cast fairy fire.
It's
does
not. It's
anybody
not a.
have?
It's not a matter of
Oh, no,
can you
it's
hit
there.
this. Is can you hit the right spot? Because this is just the.
Dirty 20.
I was gonna say I'm gonna cast fairy fire to give an advantage, but I'm gonna
Okay.
Dirty 20.
All right.
Oh.
You hit that shoulder
Holy
bracket,
shit.
because
Oh
she's
my God,
pointing
that
out
was
the right
good.
spot. I'm gonna let you do double damage on
Nice.
this.
It's 16 damage. You want me to roll it again, or you want me to double 16?
You want to double it, or you want to roll again?
Let's do 32. That's a pretty good
Okay.
roll.
You watch as it, and that arm cracks, falls off.
Uh-huh.
She steps away from it. Where it hits the ground starts to spread. And the arm, you watch as that arm just gets destroyed. Now that it's not attached anymore,
Yeah.
it's lost its magical protection of being part of the suit, and it's in a matter of seconds that whole arm's gone. It's just rust and particles on the ground.
I'm gonna
All along that part of the ground, it just starts to spread.
I'm gonna look at him and use his full government name. Neorite, do something. You touched this thing and it did nothing
What
to you.
have you done? And you look, and down the end of the hall is Griggs.
Holy
Damn it.
no! Oh, no!
And that's how we're gonna end tonight's session.
Oh, you